Well, g'day everyone, how's it going? And welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to take you through my process from the quote stage for my video production business, right through to an order, and then how I take it to the invoice as well. So there's a lot of options out there right now for creators to pay a subscription to handle all their documentation for quoting, orders and invoicing. For example, in Australia, we use a program called Xero. There's also Tave and Dubsado and other subscription-based things like Studio Ninja. But what I found is paying that monthly sometimes when you're just starting out can be really difficult. So I've basically developed this system of documentation, which is actually free. So you can use Figma and you can basically set this up once and you can do this all yourself really easily. But at the end of the video, I want to show you, I have created these templates for sale on my website where you can grab them via the link below. And this just helps to set up them because I've taken a while to get these looking how they are and to set them up really nicely. So you can skip ahead a few steps if you jump on the link and grab them via my website. So let's dive into Figma and I'll take you through this template and how you can use it. So here on the screen, we basically got these generic templates, and these are ones that I've used in my own company. Recently sent these to a client of mine, and I've just made them kind of generic for the purpose of this video. And also the ones that I'll be linking to at the end as well that you can get, have this same company, X kind of thing on there. So this is basically my quote template that I've developed. And the way that it works is a client will want to request your services and then you go through a process of quoting for those services. And quotation is kind of like an estimate. So you roughly put in a price that you think you're worth or you think the client might be able to afford. And so in those initial stages, I talk about budget and what the client needs, what their main thing is that they need. So this particular one that I'm going to run through is just a main day filming. Basically, I'll be filming for that day and then uploading the footage for them to get off Dropbox or Frame.io. And so basically it's a really simple quote that I just want to run through with you in Figma. So basically I've put together the whole layout here and it's just cinematography, Melbourne, main day filming. And it was on the 18th of October that I actually carried out this particular job. So on location shoot in Melbourne for the full day, and it was $1,050. And then it was a return travel to Melbourne, which between where I live and where the client's location was, and that was $75. And I just do that based on if it's half an hour or less, it's $75. If it's an hour or less, it's $125. And I think I go up to $175 if it's more than an hour travel each way. So that's it. And basically you total all that up and I would send that through with the recipient's name on top, my company name and my ABN. We have an Australian business number. You might have a tax file number or something like that that you need to put on as your business. And then the quotation, the price at the top, the total and the date. I've submitted the quote. Now, this is a Figma document, so any of these is editable. So imagine if this is a second day filming, I'm just going to come in here, second day filming, and maybe this was on the next day on the 19th of October. So basically I could just edit this document as I would any normal document. And the good thing about this is it's really nice looking and I can make it look exactly how I want. So let's say now the client approves of this quote and basically says, yep, we want to move ahead with the project. Well, now I then turn this quote into an order. So it's not a purchase order, but it's an order within my company documents that I then use to track the project and things like that. So I then basically have the same template for an order. And what changes is it then gets a number. So while it's in the quote stage, it doesn't have a number assigned to it yet. So let me just do this one for you. Today's date is the 19th of October. So this is going to be 2023. Month is October 10th and the day is 19/002. So that's then setting up for this particular date, and sold to will be the recipient's name and the recipient's email, the email I'm sending this through to as well. So this is just a repeat of the information in the order. So basically you've got the on location shoot in Melbourne full day and then return travel from Melbourne again. And then you've got this taxable, these two are both taxable with GST. So then you put the subtotal and I add in the payment details here. So this is my bank, registered bank for my business, and then an account number and a BSB we have here in Australia. It might be different where you are, but this is basically the way that I request payment for this particular thing. And I add that onto the order. Now, sometimes that gets sent to the client depending on the scope of the job and how big it is. But other times I just have that in my files and I just keep that available so that I know where things are at and I know it's been approved and what date it was actually approved. So who it was sold to and the order date is the date of approval of that particular order. So then what happens is, let's say I go and do the job, everything goes really well, offload all the footage and upload that for the client. And then we come to the invoice and it's time to invoice. So this is then my document that I would send through to the client to request for that money. And again, the information at the top, but basically the tax invoice is on the top noted there. The next number in the series is 003. So in this case, this one would be 2023, and it would be the 10th and 19003. And so that's the next number in the series that I use in my numbering convention. And then the recipients, the company, and the email of the person who requested it. This could be an individual as well. The due date, which is due now, or maybe it's in 7 days' time. So put the date of your payment terms. With payment terms, that really comes under the order as well. So when the order is produced, when the client agrees on the quote, then you produce the order with a contract or some documentation. We normally send our standard contract with that. And that's where your payment terms should be outlined in a standard contract or your standard form. Then basically the amounts there. And then what it is, the order summary, which links back to the previous number on the order document. And again, recipient's name and the date the order was accepted. And then basically you put in your payment details and this becomes the document or the piece of paper that you send to the client to then request for them to make payment based on that order, which is based on the quote that they approved. And so this is basically the documents that you need to start quoting, then transferring it into an order and having the order be available to you and to the client to know what the scope of the work is, and then having an invoice, which is your piece of paper that you send to request for payment. Now, this is a system that I've developed where I don't want to use a paid subscription. I don't want to use Xero or any other thing. I just want to basically build out these quotes for myself in like a spreadsheet or something, and then input the information into here. And I do it manually. It doesn't take very long because depending on the job, if it's just cinematography then or photography or DP work, then it's really easy to put this together. I just basically duplicate this to create my next one for the next job that comes up. And yeah, I just input all the information in. I know my hourly rates here for my day rates. Some of my clients want me on an hourly rate, others will have a day rate. So there's differences for different clients, but basically it's the way I do it all. So let's say on this particular one here, just as an example, I was doing also an upload of footage. So I wanted to quote for that as well. So all I would do is basically I would come in and edit the document, and I would just take this here and I would just basically copy that and paste. And then I'm basically just going to paste that, and it's grabbed this other one here, but I'll just delete that. And so now I'm going to put in here, upload footage to Dropbox. And then I'm just going to create costs to upload footage of selects to Dropbox. And then I put in like a timeline, a limit that I would have for this, maybe 48 hours would take me to do that. So within 2 business days, let's say, and then the price that I would have for me to do that. And that's basically offloading the footage onto my servers, then opening up the Dropbox link and uploading, and then watching that upload over maybe a day or so, depends on how much footage I shot. Currently sitting and waiting for one that's uploading with 500 gigs. and that's going to take a couple of days to upload. So I have to baby it a little bit, but it's not that big a deal. So I just put in a flat rate of 175. So let's say that's where I ended up. So then I want to add in 175 to this. So we're going to be at 1,300. I'm going to add the GST, change the GST to $130. And then total for this becomes, what do we got? $1,330. Is that right? $1,430. Yeah, so that's kind of how I will make the quotes. And yeah, I then just check it with a calculator. Depends on how big they are, because this can get bigger. You know, this can go onto 2 pages and stuff. And this has worked really well, this method, because the clients, no matter how big or small, they can appreciate this process as well, where we're estimating in the beginning, we're wrestling about, okay, negotiating price and this and that. And then we've got the order sorted out. And sometimes my clients, based on my order, will send me a purchase order with their number on it. I can put their purchase order number on my order and carry that through to the invoice as well. And then at the end of the job, I say, thanks very much, and here's my invoice, and I send them that for payment. Hopefully this video has given you some insights into the way to do the quote process. I have created these templates for sale on my website where you can grab them via the link below. And on that link, you'll have the documents in a PDF version that you can edit, and also in a link to the Figma documents as well. And if you wanted to know more about how to actually price your jobs and price your time, I've done a video on that before, and I'll link it right here. So check that out, and that's going to be really helpful for you as well. Well, thanks so much for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.